Hello, fourth year students. Today we are going to talk about a new aspect of negation in English, which is focus of negation. So, in describing negative clauses, it is important to identify not only the scope of negation, but also the focus of negation. So, in the previous video, we talked about something that is called scope of negation. And we said the scope of negation means the stretch of language over which the negative meaning operates. And usually, the scope of negation, as you remember, starts from the negative word itself, like not or never or any negative adverb we are using to negate the sentence, to the end of the sentence, either to the end of the sentence or to the beginning of a final agent, to the beginning of a final adverb in the sentence. So the adverb can, as you remember, we said can either be included within the scope of negation or can be kept outside of it. So here we are going to talk about something that is related to negation, which is called the focus of negation. And in fact, you are going to see that both of these scope of negation and focus of negation are important to understand the meaning of this negative sentence, as well as they are what they are related to each other. So, what does it mean, focus of negation? The focus of negation is mainly related to the contrastive nuclear stress falling on a particular part of the clause to indicate that the contrast of meaning implicit in the negation is located at that spot, and also that, by implication, the rest of the clause can be understood in a positive sense. So, what does this mean? Focus of negation is mainly related to what is mainly related to stress. When you are stressing a particular word in this negative sentence, so you want to say that I want to negate or the negative meaning of the sentence is mainly focused in this on this word. What about the other parts of the sentence? The other parts of the sentence are going to be understood in their positive meaning, while the speaker wants only to negate the word that he is stressing on. So let us explain this in examples to make it clearer for you. So the following sentence can be understood in different ways each time we change the location of the nucleus stress. So we are going to take this sentence as an example, and each time we are going to change the stress from one word to another in this sentence in order to make you understand how can changing the stress of the word, the placement of the stress from one word to another can change the meaning of the negative sentence. So, for example, we have this sentence, I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. So, if I am stressing or putting the nuclear stress on the subject, which is the pronoun I, this means that I is going to be the focus of negation. The focus of negation of this sentence is going to be located on the subject of the sentence. So here, the subject I is going to be understood in its negative meaning, while the other parts of the sentence are going to have a positive meaning. How is that? So if I say, I didn't take John to swimming pool, sorry, I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. So here, when I am saying this sentence with stressing I want to say that the subject is negative. Okay, the scope of negation and the focus of negation are related to the subject, are focusing on the subject, in the meaning that, and the meaning of the sentence is that it is not me who took John to the swimming pool, maybe someone else. Okay, so the other parts of the sentence are positive, which means that, okay, John was taken by someone else to the swimming pool, but not me. You see, the subject has been put under the focus of negation, which means so we are negating it. Suppose that I am going to change the focus of or the placement of the nucleus stress from the subject to the verb. Okay, so my sentence is going to be this way: I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. So here I am focusing now on the what? On the verb. The stress is put on the verb take. So here take is the verb, takes the or becomes the focus of negation, and it means that, okay, maybe I did something with John in the swimming pool. Maybe we played in the swimming pool, we swam in the swimming pool, but it is what not, but I didn't take him there. Okay, so here we are negating what? The verb, because here the verb is taking the stress, and it is taken, or it becomes the focus of negation. Suppose that we are changing the placement of the stressor from the verb to John, to the object. So the sentence will be in this way. I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. Okay? So here we are negating John. So I am taking someone to the swimming pool, but it was not John. Is it clear? If I am okay continuing and moving the stress to other words in the sentence, also I am changing, or I am having new meanings for the sentence each time I am changing the placement of stress. So suppose that I am going to put stress on the swimming pool. So the sentence will be, I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. Okay, so I took John somewhere, but it was not the swimming pool. Or if I want to place a stress on today, so I can say the sentence, I didn't take John to the swimming pool today. Okay, so I already did this. Okay, I took John to the swimming pool, but it was not today. Maybe it was yesterday or last week. Is it clear? So you see here, focus of negation means that, or it is related to what? To the placement of stress. If you are putting this stress on a particular word in the sentence, this means that you are negating this word in particular, while the other parts of the sentence are going to be understood in their positive meaning. The scope and focus are interrelated in such a way that the scope must include the focus. From this, it follows that one way of signaling the extent of the scope is by the position of the focus. One example of this is when typically the scope of the negation is extended to include a subordinate clause of reason. So you see here, both, as we said before, the scope and focus of negation, they are related to each other, because we say that when we are putting stress on a particular word in the sentence, so we are negating this word. And when we are negating this word, this means it is what? It is within the scope of negation in the sentence. Okay? This can be clearly seen when we are having a sentence that ends with an agent, an adverbial clause. Okay, and you remember we said previously the adverbial clause, or the adverb in general, that comes at the end of the sentence can either be included within the scope of negation or be kept outside of it. How's that? If we look at this sentence, I didn't leave home, comma, because I was afraid of my father. Okay, so here, if we suppose that the scope of negation is going to start from the not, the word, the negative word itself, from not to what? To home. While because I was afraid of my father, this is what? This is a clause of reason, adverbial clause of reason, and as you see, we have kept it outside the scope of negation. So everything that is kept outside the scope of negation, this means that it is going to be positive. Okay, so here we are negating what? We are negating only the first part of the clause, the first part of the or the first clause, which is the independent clause. We are negating the verb and the object. So I didn't leave home because I was afraid of my father. So did I leave home? No, I didn't. Okay, so you see here the verb is negative. The verb has been negated by not. So I didn't leave home. Why didn't I leave home? Because I was afraid of my father. So here the reason for not leaving the home was what is understood in its positive meaning. So the sentence means, because I was afraid of my father, I didn't leave home. So suppose that we are going to include, to put this adverbial clause of reason within the scope of negation. And this way it is going to be what? It is going to take the focus of negation, and it is going to be understood in its negative meaning. Sentence we are going to say, I didn't leave home because I was afraid of my father. Okay? I didn't leave home because I was afraid of my father. So what does this mean? It means here that I left home. Okay, I left home, but it was not because of I was afraid of my father, but because of something else. So you see here, we are putting the focus of negation, the nucleus stress, on the adverbial clause itself, and here we are negating it. Is it? And when it takes this adverbial clause that takes the focus of negation, this means it has been within or inside or included within the scope of negation. So when it becomes inside the scope of negation, it becomes negative also. So I left home, but it was not because that I feel afraid of my father, but because of something else. Okay, so this is in brief the meaning of the aspect of focus of negation, and how we can differentiate or identify it in the sentence by relating it to stress, and how it can affect the meaning, and how it is related to the scope of negation.